PePeVille. Chapter 1. Sunny Morning in PePeVille. Our story begins in the picturesque village of PePeVille, where houses with thatched roofs peek out among the gently rolling landscape. It looks like many other villages, but it's inhabited not by people, but by animals alone. In the heart of this village lives a small white cat named Tina. She has soft, long fur and big, bright eyes, and she's curious about everything happening around her. She loves to explore every nook and cranny of PePeVille, whether it's the stream with its crystal-clear water or the mysterious forest beyond the village. One sunny morning, Tina went for a walk. Today is a beautiful day, she thought. It seems perfect for an adventure. Along the way, she met her friend Bruno, a small, smiling dog with big brown eyes. Bruno, loyal and energetic, always loved joining Tina on her expeditions. "Where are we going today?" Bruno asked excitedly. "How about the forest?" Tina suggested. "We might find something interesting there." On their way, they were joined by Sammy, a sharp squirrel with reddish-brown fur. "Good morning," she greeted them from a tree branch by the road. "I'll come with you." Bruno laughed. Of course, the more, the merrier. As they walked through the village, they met Max, a little gray mouse. He sat on the edge of the road, gnawing on a stick. "Hi, friends. What are you doing today?" Max asked curiously, as he climbed down from his favorite tree. "The mysterious forest awaits us," Tina replied. "Then I'm coming with you. I can't miss this." Max squeaked, tossed aside his stick, and scurried after them. Finally, they were joined by Lili, a large owl with deep, wise eyes and white feathers. "Good morning to all," she greeted. "I'm ready to help you find whatever you're looking for." And so, our group of 5 friends set off. Each of them had their own unique skills, and all were eager to discover something interesting. PePeVille was waking up to a beautiful day, while Tina, Bruno, Sammy, Max, and Lili set out on their adventure. PePeVille. Chapter 2. The Mystery of the Enchanted Forest. When Tina, Bruno, Sammy, Max, and Lili crossed the borders of PePeVille, they found themselves on the edge of a mysterious forest known as magical. Every tree and flower here had its own story. "Look how the forest sparkles!" Tina exclaimed, mesmerized by the glowing lights among the leaves. Bruno shivered with excitement. "It's like entering another world." At that moment, Sammy, who was jumping from branch to branch, stopped and pointed to a path leading deeper into the forest. "We should go this way," she suggested. "I feel it will lead us to something interesting." Max set off without hesitation. "Maybe we'll find some hidden treasure," he exclaimed. Lili, who was circling above them, hooted loudly to draw attention. "We must be careful, friends. The forest could be full of surprises," she warned them with the wisdom her long life had given her. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they discovered more and more of its magic. The trees seemed to talk with the whisper of the wind, and the flowers opened up as someone from our group approached. They went further and further until they reached places they didn't know at all. But that made it all the more adventurous and fun. Suddenly, a small clearing emerged from behind the trees, and in the middle of it stood an ancient stone pillar. A symbol was carved on the pillar, unlike anything any of them had ever seen before. "This must be some old magic," Tina pondered. "Maybe it's a map," Bruno suggested, examining the details carved into the stone. Sammy pondered. "It looks like part of some old legend. Maybe it tells us something about the history of this forest." Max touched the stone and felt a shiver down his spine. "It's as if the stone has its own story," he remarked thoughtfully. Lili, observing the scene from above, flew down to the others. "This symbol could be the key to uncovering some mystery of the forest," she said wisely. "It might show us the way to something that has been lost for a long time." With excitement and curiosity in their hearts, our friends decided to explore the mystery of the ancient pillar, unaware of the adventure that awaited them. The forest around them rustled with anticipation, as if it was ready to reveal its secrets. PePeVille. Chapter 3. The Riddle of the Ancient Pillar. Tina and her friends stood around the mysterious stone pillar, thoughtfully examining its enigmatic symbols. "We have to decipher this," Tina declared resolutely. Bruno, whose nose always smelled more than just ordinary scents, began sniffing around the pillar. "There's something interesting here," he noted, "the scent of old times." Sammy hopped closer to the symbols. "Look," she pointed out. "Each symbol represents an animal or plant from the forest." She was a smart and observant squirrel. Max, who loved puzzles, perked up. "Maybe it's like a game. We need to find each animal or plant and match them to the symbols," he suggested. Wise Lili agreed. That might be the way. Each symbol could represent a part of the forest or its secrets. Our friends split up to find the corresponding animals and plants. Tina found a leaf that matched one of the symbols exactly. Bruno sniffed out a small, smiling sprite that resembled another symbol. Sammy tracked down a butterfly with wings the same colors as one of the symbols. Max climbed a tree and found a nest with eggs that had the same shape as another symbol. Lili watched everything from the sky and guided them with her wise advice. When they all gathered back at the pillar, they placed their findings around it. At that moment, the pillar began to turn and the ground beneath them shook. "It's magic!" Tina exclaimed excitedly. The pillar stopped and pointed deeper into the forest. Suddenly, a path appeared there, one that definitely hadn't been there a moment ago. "It looks like it's inviting us on another journey," Bruno breathed expectantly. "This adventure isn't over yet," Sammy added with a smile. So, our group of friends set off down the newly revealed path, feeling that they were on the trail of something truly grand. The forest around them whispered with mysterious melodies, and lights danced in the air, as if celebrating their discovery. PePeVille. Chapter 4. The Hidden Secrets of the Forest. The path revealed by the ancient pillar led Tina and her friends even deeper into the mysterious forest. The trees seemed older and more majestic, and the light filtering through their leaves created a magical atmosphere. "There's something magical here," Tina whispered as she walked on the soft, mossy carpet. Bruno leaped over tree roots and barked happily. "I feel like we're heroes in an old legend." Sammy, always ready for adventure, hopped from branch to branch, exploring every corner. "Look, there's something here." She pointed to a small, ancient bridge over a stream, previously hidden from view. Max looked around in awe. "This bridge looks like it leads to a completely different world," he said. As they crossed the bridge, Lili, who had been carefully observing their surroundings, warned, "Be careful, friends. Unknown paths may hide unknown dangers." On the other side of the bridge, they found a small, hidden garden full of the brightest flowers and glowing trees. In the center of the garden stood an old blossoming tree, its trunk adorned with glowing runes. "This is something very special," Tina whispered. "I think we found the heart of the forest." Bruno began to dig at the roots of the tree and suddenly unearthed a small, old chest. "Look what I found," he barked. Sammy jumped down and helped him open the chest. Inside, they found an old book and an amulet that glowed with a soft light. "It's a magic book," Lili said as she came closer to examine it. "And this amulet may hold great power." Max watched the amulet in admiration. "Maybe the book and amulet will help us understand the forest's secrets better," he pondered aloud. Our group of friends gathered around the old tree, opened the book, and began to read. Each page revealed a piece of the forest's history and its inhabitants, as well as old legends and spells. As dusk fell, Tina and her friends decided to return to the village and study the book and amulet more closely. "We have many more adventures ahead," Tina said, feeling like a new chapter in their lives had just opened. With a book full of secrets and an amulet holding magical power, they made their way back through the forest, excited about the newly discovered wonders. PePeVille had yet to learn of the stories and magic its little heroes would bring back into its midst. PePeVille. Chapter 5. The Secrets of the Book and Amulet. When Tina, Bruno, Sammy, Max, and Lili returned to PePeVille, they headed straight to Tina's cozy little house. They sat down on comfortable cushions and spread out the magic book and amulet in front of them to better explore the mysterious items. "Look at the patterns in the amulet," Tina said, gently touching its smooth surface. "It's like a map of the stars." Bruno observed the book with curious eyes. "And these stories are full of old legends and magic," he noted. Sammy, whose eyes quickly scanned the pages, found a chapter about the history of the forest. "This tells about the ancient guardians of the forest and their magical abilities," she said. Max asked, "Do you think we could be like those guardians? That we could use magic?" His eyes shone, and he looked like he wanted to try a spell right there and then. Lili, however, cautiously warned them. "With great power comes great responsibility. We must use the information from this book very carefully and wisely." As they read, our friends noticed that the amulet reacted to some of the stories in the book. When they read a certain passage, the amulet glowed. "That must be the key to some magic," whispered Max, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Sammy suggested, "Maybe we should try reading something from the book out loud while holding the amulet." Tina carefully grasped the amulet and began to read a spell aloud. As the words left her mouth, the amulet emitted a brighter and brighter light, until finally, the whole house glowed with magical energy. Suddenly, a spiritual image of an ancient forest guardian appeared before them. "You are the chosen ones," the spirit spoke. "You are the guardians of the forest and PePeVille village. With this book and amulet, you can protect the forest and its secrets." Our group of friends, now endowed with new abilities and a mission, looked at each other with a sense of wonder and responsibility. "This is the beginning of our true adventure," Tina said thoughtfully with a smile. "As guardians of the forest, we have much work to do." Bruno barked in agreement, Max wagged his long tail, Sammy jumped for joy, and Lili proudly circled above them. Thus began a new chapter in the lives of Tina and her friends in PePeVille, a chapter full of magic, challenges, dangers, but also friendship and adventure, bringing new and exciting stories to them and the entire village. PePeVille. Chapter 6. The Guardian's First Challenge. Tina, Bruno, Sammy, Max, and Lili woke up to a new morning full of determination. PePeVille was awakening too, unaware of the magical changes the night had brought. "We need to learn how to use our new abilities," Tina said, watching the amulet gently pulse in her paw. Bruno, always ready for action, agreed, "And we should start protecting the forest before something happens." Sammy's eyes sparkled. "Maybe we should explore the forest and see if everything is all right." Max hopped around joyfully. "I'm ready for any adventure that comes our way." Lili simply noted wisely and calmly, "Let's be careful and focused. Our journey won't be easy." As they arrived in the forest, they noticed its atmosphere had changed. Suddenly, the spiritual image of an ancient forest guardian appeared before them. "It seems something is wrong," Bruno remarked, puzzled, and sniffed the air. Walking through the forest, they encountered a group of elves who appeared distressed. "Our forest is in danger," one of them said. "The trees are sick, and the animals are restless." Holding the amulet, Tina felt its warmth. "We can help," she declared determinedly. "Show us what's happening." The elves led them to the central part of the forest, where a large old oak with yellowing leaves stood. "This tree is the heart of our forest," explained one of the elves. "If it dies, the whole forest will suffer." Sammy noticed something strange at the roots of the tree. "Look, this isn't natural." She pointed to a black, sticky coating. Max sniffed toward the coating. "This is magic, but not ours." "Then we must stop it," Lili declared firmly. Tina, still holding the amulet, carefully read a spell she found in the book. The light from the amulet illuminated the entire oak, and it soon turned completely green again. "Look, it's working!" Tina exclaimed joyfully. As the tree fully healed, the entire forest seemed to take a deep breath. Animals began to make noise again, and life returned to the forest. The elves were grateful and did not hide their joy. "You are the true guardians of our forest," they said with respect. Our group of friends returned to PePeVille, filled with joy from their success and determined to protect their beloved forest and its inhabitants from any threats that might come their way. PePeVille. Chapter 7. A Fateful Encounter. News of Tina and her friend's heroic deed quickly spread among the inhabitants of PePeVille village and the forest, making our friends admired heroes. Everyone felt respect for their abilities and their important role as guardians. "We must be ready for more challenges," Tina said one morning as all the friends gathered at her house. Bruno, with unflagging energy and enthusiasm, agreed. "Yes, we never know what might appear." At that moment, a breathless little sprite ran up to them. He looked frightened and glanced around nervously. "Please, we need your help," he called urgently. "Something strange is happening at the edge of the forest." Without hesitation, our group set off for the location. Upon arrival, they saw the forest floor had turned into a barren wasteland. "What happened here?" Sammy looked around in disbelief. Lili noted, "This is not a natural phenomenon. It must be the work of some powerful magic." Max stood on his hind legs and surveyed the surroundings. "Look, there's something strange over there." He pointed at a peculiar symbol etched into the ground. Tina approached and examined the symbol. "This is the same symbol that's in our book," she said. "It must be connected." Bruno boldly suggested, "Maybe we should use the amulet and try to revive the land." Tina began to read a spell from the book. The amulet in her paw glowed with strong light, but this time it wasn't so simple. The land started to change, but very slowly. "We need more power," Lili said. "We must unite our abilities." So, they all joined paws, and Tina read the spell again. This time, the magical energy combined, and the devastated land began to recover more quickly, with green grass and flowers sprouting, and the land came back to life. "Look, we did it!" Sammy exclaimed joyfully. After this event, our heroes returned to the village. They realized that their strength lay in unity and cooperation. They were ready to face any further dangers that might threaten their beloved forest and PePeVille. PePeVille. Chapter 8. The Mysterious Night. Days in PePeVille continued in a peaceful rhythm, but Tina and her friends remained vigilant, not forgetting their roles as guardians of the forest. When a night with a new moon arrived, the village was enveloped in a mysterious atmosphere. That night, when the moon shone unusually bright, Tina awoke from a restless dream. She felt that something was amiss. She decided to go outside and look at the forest. Bruno, always nearby, joined her. "I have the same feeling, Tina," he said. "Something is happening." Together they set off. At the edge of the forest, they saw Sammy, Max, and Lili, who were already waiting for them. "We all feel it," Sammy said. "Something is calling us." They proceeded cautiously through the forest, guided by a mysterious force, until they reached a small pond that glowed in the moonlight. "Look at the water," Lili pointed out, "as if something is about to appear in it." Indeed, the water in the pond began to ripple, and suddenly an image of an old sage, whose face was full of concern, appeared on the surface. "We know the sage from our book," Tina said. "He is a guardian of the forest from the past." The image of the sage spoke. "Guardians, your journey is not over yet. A great danger threatens, which can destroy the entire forest and PePeVille. You must find the lost spring and restore its power, or all will be lost." When the image disappeared, the water calmed down, and the pond looked normal again. "The lost spring?" Sammy pondered. "I've never heard of it." Max looked around. "Where could we find it?" Lili, who was carefully watching the sky, said, "Maybe we should search in the oldest part of the forest, where the trees are the tallest and oldest." "Then that's where we must go," Bruno barked determinedly. "We have to protect our home." Returning to the village, Tina and her friends agreed that they would set out to find the lost spring first thing in the morning. They felt the weight of their mission and were ready to face any dangers to protect their beloved forest and the village of PePeVille. PePeVille. Chapter 9. The Search for the Lost Spring. As dawn broke, Tina and her friends gathered at the forest's edge, ready for the challenge the night had brought. Knowing the search for the lost spring wouldn't be easy, they relied on magic and each other, believing they could succeed. Bruno, with his nose to the ground, led the group deeper into the forest. "We must look for any clues or signs," he said. Sammy hopped from branch to branch, carefully observing the surroundings. "The oldest part of the forest should be this way." She pointed towards the densely wooded trees. Along the way, they encountered familiar faces, elves, forest animals, and even a few mysterious beings usually hidden. All felt the disruption in the forest's balance and were grateful for our heroes' efforts. Arriving in the oldest part of the forest, the atmosphere felt even more magical and mysterious. The huge, ancient trees seemed to form a natural temple. "According to legend," Lili started, "the lost spring has the power to restore life and balance." Max, small but brave, explored every nook and cranny. "It has to be around here," he mumbled. Suddenly, Sammy exclaimed, "There's something here!" She spotted a hidden small path leading to an unknown place. Following the path, they found a small pond that was polluted and lifeless. "Is this the lost spring?" Tina asked sadly. Bruno leaned over the water. "It looks bad, but maybe we can do something." Tina grabbed the amulet, and they all joined paws and claws, trying to transfer their energy to the spring. Tina began to recite magical words from the book. The amulet's light illuminated the spring's waters, spreading its magical glow everywhere. The water started to clear, and fresh, clean water burst forth from the spring, reviving the surrounding landscape. "Look, it's working!" Sammy exclaimed. As the spring fully recovered, the forest seemed to breathe again. Trees turned green, flowers bloomed, and animals came to drink the clean water. "We did it!" Tina breathed out with a happy smile. "We saved the forest!" Tina and her friends realized that together they could overcome any obstacle, and that as guardians of the forest, they had a special task: to protect and maintain nature's balance. Thus ended another chapter in their adventure, but they knew their journey as guardians was just beginning. Many more secrets and stories awaited them in PePeVille and the depths of the forest. PePeVille. Chapter 10. Celebration and New Beginnings. After restoring the lost spring and saving the forest, Tina and her friends returned to PePeVille, where a grand welcome awaited them. The entire village gathered to celebrate their success and thank them for their bravery and determination. The village mayor, a wise and kind hedgehog named Mr. Prickle, organized a feast in their honor. "Thanks to all of you, our village and forest are safe again," he said with pride. The square was filled with music, dance, and laughter. The inhabitants of PePeVille prepared various delicacies and decorations to celebrate this special day. Animals from the forest also joined, adding a magical touch to the celebration. Tina, Bruno, Sammy, Max, and Lili were the center of attention, radiating happiness and pride. "We couldn't have done it without our team spirit," Tina told everyone. "Together, we are strong." Bruno, always ready for the next adventure, added, "And we will always be here to protect our home." In the evening, as the celebration was coming to an end, Tina and her friends gathered at the edge of the forest, where their adventure began. They looked up at the starry sky and the forest, now glowing with new energy. Lili, wise and calm, spoke. "Today we celebrated our success, but our journey as guardians of the forest continues." Sammy, waving her bushy tail, said, "I know there will be many more challenges ahead, but I'm sure we can handle them together." Max laughed. "Every adventure with you is incredible." So, under the clear, starry sky, Tina and her friends pledged to continue protecting PePeVille and the forest, stand firm against any threats, and maintain the harmony of their beautiful world. In PePeVille and the magical forest, hope and renewal were felt, and all its inhabitants, big and small, knew they had heroes they could rely on. And Tina and her friends knew that it's not the size of the hero that matters, but the size of their heart.